What's going on, everybody? Jamie here from Sharonatsea. Hey, there was a time when the only dining options you had on a cruise were the buffet, the main dining room, and maybe one alternative dining venue. Well, specialty restaurant options are all the rage on cruise ships nowadays. But I'm wondering, are they worth the extra charge? Let's talk about it right after this. Hey, before we get started, if you're into cruise news, cruise vlogs, cruise tips, anything that has to do with cruising, we'd love for you to consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you're always aware of any new content. Alright, now let's talk about specialty restaurants. Whether it's Teppanyaki, Cagney Steakhouse, Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse, Wonderland, Chops, Hooked, or any other of a myriad of specialty restaurants on cruise ships nowadays, whatever cuisine you are after, you're bound to find it on that ship. Now, besides specialty restaurants, there have been a lot of neat new additions to the dining venues on ships where you can go someplace for breakfast or lunch that's included and pay a little extra charge for dinner. And there's a lot of dining venues that are even included. For instance, on Carnival, they have Guy's Burgers. They have Johnny Rockets now on Royal Caribbean, where for a few extra dollars you can get a full Johnny Rockets burger meal. So there's a lot of neat things you can do. But for today, I want to focus just on the true specialty restaurants that are popping up on cruise ships all over the place. Now, most of these specialty restaurants do come with an extra charge. You're looking at anywhere from $25, $35, $45, and even more per person when you choose to dine at a specialty restaurant on a cruise ship. Although a few of them do offer a la carte menus where you can pick and choose individual items and there are charges for those items, but most of them it's a pay one price for everything type of deal. Now, for most cruisers, being able to spend the week pigging out at the buffet or having good solid meals in the main dining room night after night is an amazing experience. There are a lot of people that don't get to do that kind of thing in their regular everyday lives. I mean, sitting down at a dinner with great service, great food, having time with your family, that's a really big deal for a lot of folks. But for some people, they just want that little extra something when it comes to a dining experience on a cruise ship. The specialty restaurant definitely takes it up a notch, and they offer very, very unique menus as well. I mean, sure, you can get your steaks and your seafood and things like that, but you're talking about chefs that are creating really different meals and types of food. I mean, it's all about the visual as well as a taste in a lot of these places. And of course, the service is second to none. What's also pretty neat about the specialty restaurants is if you have certain dining requirements, they're going to be very accommodating. For instance, if you're looking for gluten-free options, or maybe you have allergies to seafood or things like that, you can go in there and feel very comfortable that the chefs are going to take good care of you and adhere to whatever your needs are. Now, maybe it's not really fair to compare the main dining room to these specialty restaurants. I mean, the main dining room is serving thousands of meals a night. It's like a production line in there. That food is coming out quick. They usually have maybe 2 to 4 seatings depending on the size of the ship, but it's really a turn and burn type of situation where they're getting you in and out of there. I mean, the main dining room will have good options, don't get me wrong. On a 7-night cruise, you're bound to see some lobster tails, prime rib, maybe a filet mignon. It's probably not the best cuts of meat or maybe the best product that's out there. The specialty restaurants will have the highest grade food available. For example, I'll always enjoy the shrimp cocktail in the main dining room, but when I had a shrimp cocktail at a specialty restaurant on Symphony of the Seas, that thing was like 3 times the size, and it was amazing. Although there is always one benefit to the main dining room. You can usually order as much as you want. You want 4 appetizers? You got it. 3 different soups? Whatever. You want the regular salad and the Caesar salad? Go for it. What if there's shrimp and steak on the same night? Well, guess what? You're having your own version of surf and turf. When you go to the specialty restaurants, you're pretty much locked in to whatever courses they have available. Appetizer, salad, main entree, dessert, and that type of thing. You're really not going to be able to pull off getting 2 orders of lobster tail if you go to a seafood specialty restaurant. And you can trust me, because I've tried it. Now, one thing that will be different is the main dining room, you're going to have a set time, or sometimes you have something called your time dining where you can go whenever you choose and be seated. The specialty restaurants, you're definitely going to want to make a reservation. And in most cases, those reservations will be made prior to the cruise using whatever cruise planner, cruise apps, or online services that are available. It's going to be very important that you jump on those reservations early if you have a special occasion that you're looking to celebrate or something like that. Sometimes the specialty restaurants will have pretty good deals too. For instance, I know on Carnival, on the first night of the cruise, if you go eat at the steakhouse, they throw you a free bottle of wine. That's definitely a perk. Now, I mentioned celebrating something at a specialty restaurant. There are a lot of great reasons to go spend the extra money. Maybe it's an anniversary dinner. Maybe you're just parents who have younger kids and you don't get a chance to go out much. Well, on the cruise ship, you can take them down to the kids' camp, drop them off for a little bit, and have that dinner that you haven't had for months. It can be quiet, intimate, even romantic, and you can create some great memories. You can celebrate birthdays, celebrate anniversaries, or anything else that's important to you. And you can make a reservation for just two of you, or you can set up the whole family to dine together. Now, there's a few more things to think about when it comes to the specialty restaurants. For instance, what to wear. Usually our experience has been that whatever the dress code is in the main dining room on the ship that night, it's kind of similar in the specialty restaurant. If it's formal night on the ship, usually it's going to be more of a formal attire. If it's a little more casual on the ship, you can be a little casual in the specialty restaurant, but double check. There are going to be some high-end restaurants that you do need to step it up a notch as far as what you're wearing to dinner. Another thing to keep an eye out is tips. As far as tipping goes, a lot of times the tip is going to be included in the amount that you're paying for the meal. But if you have exquisite service and you want to tip extra, you're always going to be welcome to do that. So check into that before you end up leaving the table. That way you make sure that you're taking care of the people that are taking care of you. One more thing to remember, leave room for dessert. Not only are the main courses amazing, but the desserts are incredible as well. I mean, the chefs that are running these specialty restaurants are no joke. These are some of the best chefs in the world. Now also, don't miss out on what might be one of the nicest specialty restaurant experiences that there is, the chef's table. It's a unique experience. You definitely have to book that ahead of time. It does cost a little more than traditional specialty restaurants. You'll be sitting with a number of different people at probably a larger table, but the chef that oversees the entire ship will probably be responsible for making and serving your meals. And the chef's table is famous for including your wine and drinks, maybe not cocktails per se, but wine with dinner. And there's every chance that you will leave that table not only super stuffed, but with a little bit of a buzz as well. That is, if you enjoy a glass of wine. Now, specialty restaurant prices do not include drinks. You may be able to get like your soft drink or a water, iced tea or something like that. But as far as cocktails and those kind of drinks go, they won't be included, so you will pay extra for those. But the good news is, in most cases, if you do have a drink package on the ship, those drink packages can be used in the specialty restaurants. Another thing to keep an eye out for as far as a money-saving deal are dining packages. A lot of ships will sell you a dining package where you might get to eat at 3 specialty restaurants for the price of 2 or something like that. And there may be specials. Royal Caribbean's pretty well known for that. You can look in your cruise planner on a regular basis, and there may be days where they have a sale. What might be $100 for 2 nights at a specialty restaurant might be on sale for $75 or something along those lines. So keep an eye out for those deals. Great way to save a little money and still have some of the most amazing dining experiences you can get. Now, I guess the one thing we really want to figure out is specialty restaurants, is it worth the extra charge? Well, listen, hey, if you're cruising and you're on a budget, then maybe spending that extra money just doesn't make sense. I mean, you're already getting a great experience on the cruise. You're having great meals, you're having great service, and everything is fantastic. I mean, the main dining room is nothing to look down on. But if you have it in your budget and you're looking for that special experience, just a little something over the top, something you don't usually get at home, and that's really why a lot of us cruise and go on these vacations, we're doing something that we don't get in our regular everyday lives. And if you have an extra couple dollars to burn, I'll recommend definitely trying out a specialty restaurant. Keep in mind, look for one that's going to specialize in maybe your favorite types of food. If you love good steak, then go to the steakhouse. If you're a fan of the seafood, then check out the place that specializes in that. If you want something really neat and different that you've never had before, there's probably going to be a restaurant for you on the ship as well. Maybe you want that teppanyaki experience. But whatever the case is, if you can put it in the budget, take advantage of it. It'll be a meal that you'll probably never forget. So that's your cruise tip of the day. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We always appreciate the support. If you haven't done already, we sure hope you consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so that you're always aware of any new content that comes out. Check us out on our live show every Monday night, Sharon at Sea Monday Night Live. Join us on Facebook at the Sharon at Sea Cruise Crew. And from Sharon, myself, and Matthew, everyone here at Sharon at Sea, we just want to leave you with one thought: happy cruising.